Ready.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, Spencer Stevens, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
Pretty good, thank you. I just want to get straight into it. Playing the role as the gay best friend on this new hit series, correct?
Yeah.
How is that? A lot of times people shy away from those type of roles. The roles that are the ones that are funnier, that are, supporting because they want to shine out. But you are the breakout star that I've been reading about.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, I mean, I loved Paris so much. This is like, I mean, my biggest role to date. So immediately when I got the script and read who Paris was, I was like, oh, this is 1000%. It has to be me. Like, I have to have this because he's great. I mean, he's witty, he's charming, he's funny, quick-witted. I mean, he has always something to say when he has the chance. So no, I loved him so much. He's great.
Nice, I like that. So when you say you can identify with Paris because of the witty, the charm, so when you read the script, did you say, oh man, it's perfect, I finally found somebody that is actually me in real life?
Yeah, I mean, Paris is pretty much, I mean, a heightened version of myself. Because I mean, he's definitely a version of myself. But I definitely relate to him in all aspects. I had a lot of creative freedom when I got to like play him as well. Sorry, excuse me. So a lot of it was completely from me, and like how Spencer would probably say this line or this word or react to this specific scenario, just at a heightened version of it. But yeah.
Nice. I love that. A lot of actors and actresses always talk about, roles that are heightened versions of themselves, or sometimes they're just total opposite. And they're like, man, I'm actually happy to play somebody opposite of me. When you say a heightened version of you, please explain that a little bit more to me.
I mean, I definitely have my moments when I am 1000% just like Paris in all aspects of like how I react to certain situation, or like always making a joke out of something, or like even in a like, I mean, in Romeo and Juliet, there's death involved. You know what I mean? I mean, he's sitting here at the church and like Tybalt's literally there slain and sorry. Ooh. And he's literally like, I'm sorry, but like this date doesn't work for me. Like I don't care about what y'all situation is. I definitely would not probably react in that way as Spencer. I'd probably be like, well, I mean, what's going on? Maybe I do need to look at my schedule, but like, I'm not always that person, or like reacting in that situation or for that situation. But I mean, like I said, he is very close to my heart. And like, I mean, give me a couple drinks and maybe you'll get a full Paris experience. You know what I mean?
So you're out to get the full experience.
yeah, for sure. Give me a couple drinks and then I'll give you Paris the sequel. You know what I mean?
Nice. That. And you've been doing this since you were about what, 6 or 8, correct? Like started a musical.
Yeah, it's been a minute for sure.
When did you find that you had this like affinity for just entertainment altogether?
I mean, I've been acting or trying to act when I was like, since like it was 8, like 3rd grade maybe. But I'm from Dallas, Texas, and Texas has like a competitive like theater program from like middle school, high school, even in college. It's called Texas Forensic Association. And so it's literally like you go to like competitions against other schools in your district or in your city, and like you're competing in like a humorous interpretation of a monologue or dramatic interpretation of a monologue or a duo and a duet. So it's 2 of you doing something humorous or like for like 10 minutes, like there's a whole script and like that's what we do. Like that's my class in school. And so that the whole acting niche and like when I like started taking it seriously was probably like maybe 8th grade, 9th grade. Because I had been doing competitive theater 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then I randomly started talking to my teacher about like, maybe I want to like do film and TV maybe a little bit. And like, that's when an agent was like introduced and I was like, oh, I need this person to like help me get a job. And so then that's when I started reaching out to like local Dallas, Texas talent agencies. And then they referred me to like an acting class for film and TV because I was too theatrical. All I had was theater background. And then I studied with DTV in Lewisville, Texas, which is Donardo Talent Ventures. And that's where I fell in love with film and TV acting. And now the owner of that studio is my manager now, Antonia Donardo, and she's had me for over a decade now and helped me get me exactly where I am now. So that's kind of where it all happened.
Nice. That's great. And you live in LA now, right?
Yep, I live in West Hollywood.
Okay. When did you make that move?
I moved here, so I graduated from Texas State University May 2019, and then I moved here August 2019. So about 3 months later.
So you're real young in the business.
Yeah, I got here. I've only been here 3 years. Yeah, I just came straight from college and came straight here. Yeah.
Nice. What what made you say, you know what, I'm done, I'm about to go? Because sometimes some people like to play it safe, right? And some people either go to New York because they're thinking more theater, especially because of your background. What made you say LA was a perfect move?
I mean, I had always wanted to be in LA from a young. I mean, I knew film and TV was like super, that was where this is where it is. I mean, I knew New York, but New York always had that theatrical, heightened experience to it, and I was falling. I still love theater, but my true love is now film and TV, and that's where I feel most confident and safe, and I feel like they do my best work there. But I was never financially prepared. I come from a single mom in middle class, Texas, was never financially prepared. And even I was told, make sure you save up, make sure you save up. I never did. I just don't save up. I'm really bad at it. But I had met my best friend still to this day, Maya Mitchell. She's one of the leads on a Disney show or freeform show called Good Trouble. Me and her did a movie in Dallas 2017, and that's when I met her, and we instantly became friends. And throughout college, she would always reach out to me. I would come out and visit her. I would stay with her here. And then once I graduated, she was like, "You're moving into my place. You're coming. You finished. You did it. It's time to go. You can do this." And so I moved into her apartment in August. And then I got my footing, got my grounding, had enough money, and then I got my own apartment 3 months later after that.
Nice. That's awesome. I love to hear that. That's really great, especially when you have a great support system, but also shows that you connect with people very well and that you really, establish those bonds and sustain them.
Yeah.
And so
that's super important to me. I mean, I can't do anything without my friends. I mean, they've supported me all the way. So.
Nice, that's awesome. Even though you've just gotten your start and you're getting some success, has there ever been a time even prior to this that maybe you questioned the decision or it just felt shaky?
Yes, actually, I mean, there's only been when I started taking it seriously, I didn't really have any breaks or any other thoughts besides I'm going to do this. But the only time was actually last year, right before it was literally June, where I was like, dang, I just was in a weird space, and I was just questioning is this, I mean, we're also in a pandemic, so I mean, I'm gonna give myself some credit for that, but I was like, is this for me? I don't know what I'm doing. And then literally a month later, I got the Rosaline audition and then booked it, and I was like, okay, that was cute for a second, but now I this was definitely a sign, okay, get it together, you're fine, you're gonna be okay. That was the only time I've ever had those feelings too, so it's so crazy to think about.
Nice. And playing the LGBT QIA character, I always try to be respectful of the acronym. Are you yourself a part of the community?
I am gay. I am a gay man. Yep. Cis man too.
When it comes to that, and we have to be very particular on how we do the pronouns and everything. So I'm always super particular, especially with cancel culture. You never want anybody.
You always got to be right. You always get it right. No, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you.
With that and being open and who you are, when you come to looking at roles and auditions, do you ever feel that there may be any type of hindrance on what type of roles that may come your way, across your desk, how directors may see you, or even the ones you're comfortable playing, you know what I mean, from a LGBT standpoint, and when the script may come and it calls for a person to be, how do you say it, cis, non I'm not gonna even.
Cis heterosexual, cis, or
yes,
cis non-gay. Yeah. No, there's never any. It doesn't really change how I go about it, because usually when I'm in a character, I mean, I consider myself pretty good enough where if the gender or the sexuality, I mean, if the sexuality isn't being brought up into play, you're not gonna be able to get it from me. I can play straight, or I can play gay, or I can play a femme femme butch king, you know what I mean? Like all of those things if it asks for it. But if it's not asking for it, I do pretty well of like not even bringing that into like a conversation. Cause like then like someone else will already have like something in their head and like, dang, like that's a little kind of hindering like who this character is. They don't get to know who Spencer is until after the tape is done. After I meet the director, that's when I'll be exactly who this is right now. And they're like, oh, now I understand that you are an out gay man. But like up front, like that doesn't, you're not gonna get it until after I do my job. And then it's like, oh yeah, this is me now. Hi, nice to meet you. Did you like my character?
I love that because, you know, especially in this day and age, right? And myself, I'm a gay man. I've been married to my husband for 8 years. We've been together for a decade. And, you know, in gay years, that's like lifetime, right?
Yeah, congratulations. Wow.
Thank you. I don't know how, why, but we're here.
I love that.
But you know, because in this day and age, it's so like big on pride and, you know, being who you are. But I loved how you said, you know, you tackle the business first. Like it's Spencer the entertainer and then Spencer the gay man after, you know, because sometimes we hear so many stories and so many people are so proud and they just be like, I'm coming in. But I love that you said, but also I don't want to make sure no one has a preconceived notion of me. And I want them to see that I can still take this role and run with it.
Exactly. Yeah, because like I mean, I want to be able to do as much as I can. And like right when I got signed with my agents here now, before I wasn't getting any of these like the gay roles, and like I mean that type was like kind of coming up for a good amount of time. Like I'm watching like these shows like Euphoria and like Gossip Girl and like literally Schitt's Creek, and like I'm like, well, why haven't I gotten these auditions? So when I met with A3 here, which is like Abrams before, I like let them know. I was like, what I'm looking for specifically is like I can do everything. I can try to do as much as I can, but I do want to have opportunities to play gay men because I never got them in Texas. That was never given to me. So, and I know I can do it if you give me a role that like that is like fitting for that. I can do it. Like, please let me get the opportunity. And then my like 12th audition was Rosaline with them, and that was like exactly what I was looking for. So I was like, I told you, now we can go do something else. Let's go do something else now.
I did that. Now I want to play X-Men, so okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I love that you were intentional with that, you know, because you said, I want to play one because I haven't played one, but that's not the end roles I want to play at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, because I'm literally I've been doing it for so long, but I am a newbie compared to literally everyone else. Like I'm so new to all of it. And I knew what my strengths were if you give me the opportunity, and I like to play to that. I also like being out of my comfort zone sometimes, but I wasn't getting the opportunity that I knew could help me in like my career and like help get me exactly where I am right now. And I mean, after Rosaline, I'm me and my team are very much on the same page. Like you were definitely right. And I was like, well, I mean, you knew too. Like you helped me get this role. So like we're all on the same page. But yeah, now I'm like, I'm ready for what's next. I do have something that is coming that I can't talk too much about that I'm very excited about. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for the future. I'm excited to just like stretch as far as I can go. And yeah, introduce the world to Spencer as the artist, because everyone knows Paris, but you know.
Nice. I love that. You know, I would love to know, how do you get into character? You know, everyone has their own way. Some people find empathy everyone always says you have to empathize with the character. But some people say they dig into parts that they have to dig into parts of themselves that maybe they haven't touched on to relate to a character. So throughout your journey in entertainment, and I say entertainment because you do so many, there's a variety, and then even music, you know, how do you get into character?
I mean, honestly, the first thing, because I mean, I trained at Texas State University and got my BFA in acting there. So they gave me all classical training when it comes to all aspects of acting. And basically, upon graduating, I basically have my own toolbox that I can pick and choose from whatever worked for me in that time or for the next role. But honestly, I'm a big like repetition Meisner fan. And that's kind of how I do my craft. I just like get my lines correct, and sometimes I won't get them right. But memorization is a very massive skill for me. I'm really, really good at it. And I was always good at a very young age. Like I cannot tell you what I did yesterday, but I will know my lines and I know exactly what my character's thinking. I don't know, it's weird. But then I connect to like something, I kind of lean into like whatever the genre of character or whatever the situation is or my objective or anything. I always try to play the scene as many different ways as possible, even if it doesn't work. So like if I'm doing some dark, heavy, pulling tears scene, I'm gonna try this scene for like training wise, not for in the room. I'm not gonna do this in the room. But like I will play this as a comedy or like it's the funniest thing that could ever be happening. So I can see exactly how far off this will not work if I lean into that, just so that character knows like what the other, like another opportunity is. And also I would lean into like it being super, super heavily dark and like, it's like all stakes are super high. Like that's kind of what I play with. I don't even know what that's called, but that's just kind of like where I like to explore. And I kind of just, it's a feeling where I know like, okay, I know what this feels like if I try it like this. And then I kind of just tweak it around where it feels safe, where it feels comfortable, where it feels genuine, and then kind of go from there. I just, that's kind of what I do. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. But...
the Spencer method. Maybe once you start teaching later on, you're going to call it the Spencer method.
Look, here we go. Let's put that out there then. Let's try that.
Claim it, right? We going to claim it. We have the Spencer method. We going to
love it. Yeah, but that's kind of what I like learned to do. And I'm sure I picked it up somehow through either my acting studio in Texas or my college in Texas. But I don't know. That's the biggest thing is memorization for me. And then after that, I kind of feel like I own the world in this in the script because I know exactly. I know all the other characters' lines as well. Not even just mine. I know everyone's lines. So that way I can tweak and go as far as I want with any direction I want to go. And now I know what doesn't work or what will work.
I love that. This has been great. And I always like to be conscious of time, right? And so my last question, what advice would you give to someone, especially young like you? Actually, wait, no, I actually had two questions. So good, I have 10 more minutes. So in this day and age of social media, right? So many people are worried about, following because they believe that's going to get them places. And it does help people, right? It helps get land them roles, different things. How do you navigate where this day and age of I need likes, I need views because it can help my career? So does Spencer use social media as a tool to brand himself, or is Spencer like, look, social media is just, you're going to see everyday Spencer, maybe at the gym, maybe getting a smoothie, maybe seeing a movie, so you
that's very much me. I mean, I am best friends with people that have like 8-10 mil on Instagram and other social media. And like, they are still like my best friend, and it does not even change how they operate or like how they do business. They just have a massive fan base. But it for me personally, I mean, even with this role, I know it's a good like opportunity to like financially like come out of it or whatever. But like, I'm really bad at social media sometimes, where I'm like, I'm not even going to act like this is going to be a benefit for me, because it's just not going to work that way. Like, people are going to like me and like be a fan of me, regardless of me trying to like do, like, you're just going to follow me and go to the movies, or like, I'm going to be at the beach and like, you're going to know I'm at the beach. And like, that's just going to be me. Obviously, if I have like a whole campaign that I'm doing for like a brand, then yeah, we'll do that aspect. But like, I'm not going to be putting that out there from the start. I was like, I am not an influencer. I do not want to even claim that I can influence other people, because that is not the goal. Like, I just want to create some cool movies, and like, that's it. So, I mean, come along if you want to follow me and like see my dog every day. Like, I'm happy with it, but like, it's not a goal of mine, and I'm not good at it. So that's not going to be for me.
Your food like this and everything.
Yeah. Very much so. Like, yeah, it's just not. I've just never been good at it. I mean, I like social media. I'm always on it, but it's not like, I don't think my followers or like the amount of likes or whatever is going to benefit me, because I'm also the type of person to like, I'd rather be at home and like in bed and like not anybody looking at me sometimes. So like, the less I can do on social media is probably the better for me, honestly. So.
No, that's great. Especially it keeps you sane. It keeps everything separate, and you don't always have to feel like you're on and selling yourself.
and have to be consistent with that, because I'm the most like, I cannot be consistent. So like I don't even want to set anybody up for failure. I'm like, this is what it is, and this is all you're getting from it, babes. Like that's it.
He said, Brandon, one post. Look, we're gonna do one post and that's it.
Listen, because you're gonna expect that second and third one to be exactly, and I'm like, listen, I just don't know what to tell you, babe. It's not gonna happen.
Nice. Before we go, what advice would you give to somebody young like you, right? Hungry, but maybe scared to take that leap and move, especially not understanding the city they're moving to, maybe not having the financial backing, or more importantly, might not even have that support like you did?
My biggest advice, and this is what I also had to give to myself, and I have also given this advice. I go back to my college and like talk to like the underclassmen that are still there and like have these moments. I have always been a fighter for myself, for my mom, for my career, for my sexuality. Everything has always been like a shift. Like I've always been in one spot, and then I've had to break out of that and go to what feels comfortable and right. Nobody's gonna want this. Someone else is gonna want this more than you. So you have to want it more for yourself, because no one else, like no one's gonna do it for you. So you just have to literally keep trying, keep going, no matter how hard and awful it's going to be. I know there's low parts and high parts to everything in life. I am someone that like, I accept both. Even in my low moments, I like those moments because it teaches me that like everything is on the line, everything can be changed, everything has life to it. And I'm not someone that sits in my high moments for a lot. So like when I do get them, I tend to like enjoy them more. But my low moments teach me so much, where it's like, if my life is just like completely like this, and I know this low moment's probably gonna happen at some point, like I just enjoy those because they teach me so much about what's gonna come next. I don't look at it as like a low thing, like I'm going through it. It's like, no, I'm going through it to get out of it, to move forward. So the biggest advice that I can give is just like literally don't give up, because like also, I mean, it's, if you don't want it bad enough, then like someone else does, and like then they're gonna want, like then they deserve it. So like you go fight for it, you claim your spot, you get what you want, because like you deserve it if you feel like that. So I don't know.
Nice. No,
like I said, I'm like, I don't know if anybody needs to be listening to what I'm saying, because it's all over the place sometimes. So I'm like, please.
All over the place. I think that's how we all think, right? And it's not that it's all over the place. It's about the journey. It's about what you're going through. And I think the best thing is you're giving advice from life experience and not from what you think that other people want to hear. And sometimes we get that where people are saying, I'm gonna tell Spencer what I think Spencer wants to hear, but it's like, but the advice you're giving me, have you had to live through it actually? Have you had to really yourself?
And that's all I have to go off of. Like, I mean, I just go off of what I've been through, what's helped me, what hasn't helped me, and that's all I can give back. Because I mean, I don't want to tell someone to do something that like I have no idea. Like, that's just not good advice,
Right? No, thank you. Well, Spencer, thank you so much. This has been great. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I have myself.
I did. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Hold on.